Hey everyone, let me ask you a question. Do you want to get more mileage out of the one piece of content that you work so hard to produce so you can expand your audience and get more eyeballs on your content? Hey everyone, let me ask you a question. Do you want to get more mileage? So this particular live stream is all about taking that one piece of content, that video you've spent hours producing, and then how can you repurpose it so you can multiply your audience, expand it on different platforms. And so you've just produced the content once, and then you're kind of converting it into multiple pieces of content so you can reach different types of audiences all over the web. So I think a lot of people are interested in this because if you say doing one video a week, then throughout the week you can spend 30 minutes to an hour each day repurposing that content into other areas besides the main platform, which in our case it would be YouTube. So that's a beautiful thing about repurposing the content or recycling your content. So my name is Herman Drost, and my channel is all about how to grow your audience on YouTube so you can generate traffic, leads, and sales on autopilot. And just last week, last live stream, I talked about how to generate leads. And then I followed that up this week with a regular video on how to use YouTube to generate leads. And beautiful thing about YouTube is that you can create one video. Say you have a chiropractor service or a mechanic or a plumbing service, so you can get this. Have a lead generation machine working for you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, year after year. So that's the great thing about YouTube, because it's a large search engine and people find you on the net. And then you can just continue producing content, then funnel that content into producing traffic, leads, and ultimately sales. So I want to welcome everybody here. We've got Harley, good to see you. I made you moderator, so just in case somebody comes and spams the live stream. Rose and Grace, good to see you. So this live stream, I'm going to talk about some of the benefits of repurposing your content. I look at some of the tools that I use and maybe other people use to convert that content, and then we'll also look at 10 different ways that you can repurpose your content. So let's first talk about what repurposing really means. Basic means just turning one piece of content into multiple pieces of content. So it could be a blog post. So you'd have a blog post, and then you take that blog post, convert it into a video, and then you can convert it into audio. You can convert it into different formats, images, etc. So with video, it's in some ways the video is even easier, because you've already spent your time developing the script, writing the script, and then you've created the video. And then you've shot and you've filmed the video. So you've got your audio. So it's your audio. You got probably some images or some B-roll or some graphics that you've created. So it's already got those components that then you can spread out onto the web. So basically, you're taking that one video, and then you're kind of cutting it up into different pieces. So that's the beautiful thing. And then with those pieces of content, you can reach different audiences according to the platform that you post it to. So let's look at some of the benefits of repurposing your content. I would say the main thing is that you're going to generate or attract more traffic from that same piece of content that you've spent time to produce. You're going to reach audiences on different platforms. And I'll probably say this later, but I thought I'd bring it up now, is that the audience that you get on like Instagram or Facebook is going to be different to the audiences you have on YouTube, because like YouTube is a large search engine, and people generally probably spend more time watching a video on YouTube than they would watching a video on Facebook or Instagram. So particularly because they're being searching out the information on the net, and up pops a video if they're searching on YouTube, or maybe they're searching on Google, and then you see that carousel of videos across the top of the search results, and that they click on one of those videos. So the beautiful thing about YouTube is that they're finding your content both in YouTube search, YouTube suggested, and also in Google search. So, but whereas on like Facebook, you have a Facebook audience or you have an Instagram audience, best is to kind of appeal to that audience, because I know that, and probably this would be a question for you guys and girls on the live stream. Do you generally go from what, say if you're watching, say if you see an image on Instagram, for instance, or watching a video on Instagram or on Facebook, then do you generally leave the platform? They say go over to YouTube or go to Facebook, etc. Do you generally go to the other platform, or do you just prefer to stay on the platform? So let me know in the chat. Prefer to stay, maybe stay or go. Like stay means stay on the same platform, or if they redirect you to a different platform, that you'll go there. So stay or go. So another benefit is expanding the audience that you already have on that platform, and then you're also refreshing outdated content. So you could take an old video, for instance, that you created several years ago, and you could repurpose that content and revitalize or reinvigorate that content by converting it into something else. So say you have a 4-year-old video and it's no longer getting any traffic on YouTube, but you could create a new video, but you could just take that same content that you've produced, and maybe that ugly video that you produced, and then create a blog post, Instagram post, Twitter post, etc. So in that way, you can. Those are some of the benefits. So what you're doing is actually, instead of just creating one piece of content, you're repurposing it into multiple forms of content, can reach more people, target different audiences. So let's go into some of the 10 different ways that I've come up with to repurpose your content. So, so Harley's saying that I rarely leave YouTube for another platform. If we can go to YouTube from links on Facebook, I'm really on any other platform. So maybe you're not the typical internet person that's going all over different places, but I would mention that I would say most people, they just tend to stay on that one platform. Like if I'm on Instagram and somebody goes and says, well, check out my video on YouTube, I generally won't make that move. I'll just stay on the Instagram. So the first one, apart from, probably I'll touch on this later, but this is kind of obvious, you're going to submit your video to different social media sites, which everybody does. But I've put the number one as creating a transcript. And what I generally do is I'll go to gotranscript.com or rev.com. Let me see if I think I'll share the screen quickly here with you. Here it is. Here, I think it is. Hopefully you can see this. So this is gotranscript.com, And then we've got the rev.com. So these are both transcription services, about $1 per minute for this one. Convert audio to audio or video to text. And Go Transcript, which I use, 72 cents per minute. So I haven't tried which one's the most accurate, but I guess, any any of those two are probably good to use. So what you're doing is you're taking your video content, and you don't even have to use Go Transcript or rev.com. You could just go into your video, and then you can edit the automated transcript that YouTube has produced. And that's what I used to do before I used one of these services. It's just that it takes a little longer, but you can just go into the automated transcript, and generally it seems to be getting better and better. But as you play the video, then on the left hand side you can actually audit the text that's for the video. So as it's playing, then you can just edit the words, and then once that's finished, you just publish the transcript. And then generally what I do, I remove the auto-generated transcript and just use the published transcript that I've edited. So you just remove the auto-generated one. So so you're taking your transcript, and then with that transcript, you've repurposed your video by allowing captions to play under your video. And this appeals to the people that can't hear your content, but they can see it, and those people that are in the library or at work who have the sound turned off, and they can still watch your video. So hi Sharon, good to see you. Sharon saying that I love the ability to edit the transcript, and you're right, it's getting easier and easier. So I think that with machine learning, there's the whole thing's about machine learning these days, that YouTube is using machine learning to to decide if the video, what videos should be surfaced to which people at what time, which country, what kind of content, etc. So you don't really have to use those services, but as you go through your video, you can quickly just edit the transcript. I know that when I was doing it, they would kind of mess up my name, so I knew automatically that I'd have to edit my name. So now you've got your transcript. That's repurpose method number one. And number two is to use that transcript as a blog post. Let's see. So I got a blog post here I did. So here's a blog post that of one of my most recent videos. So I take the transcript that's being produced, and then I just post it straight onto my blog. And then I take the video, and I can just take the video URL, the YouTube URL, and just post that, embed it in my blog as well. So I've got the transcript here with all the different points. So it's a pretty long blog post, and then I've got embedded the video here as well. And then down the bottom, I've just got a little plugin long time ago, which shows related videos, from all the different, from all my different posts on my blog. So I got related posts, and then I've got from around the web. So I just kind of do a Google News search, and so this kind of helps to, when people finish the blog post, they can look at related news items that related to the posts. So generally what I do is, you got the blog post, you got the embedded video, you got the points, and at the end of the blog post, actually I have to do this, I just remembered, probably better to put some call to action under your video, because when people finish the video, then they can immediately see the call to action. So that could be to a lead magnet, visit another video, or check out your video course, or whatever. You have some product under there. So I got to add that there. Just remember that. But at the end of the blog post, I generally tell them to, well, this is just the end of my video. Click here to watch my series of videos on how to rank your videos on YouTube search, Google search, etc. Then let me ask you a question, download my cheat sheet, etc. So I got a call to action at the end of every blog post, and I'd highly recommend putting one under your video. And what's the benefit of creating a blog post? Well, if I look at my my statistics on YouTube, then so if I look at my statistics on YouTube, most of the majority of my traffic is coming from Google search. And probably because my blog is like 12 years old, and I've kind of randomly posted stuff on there that used to be from my web design articles, but now it's mostly video related stuff. So, and I've got videos there that are like posts on that blog that are like 2 or 3, 4 years old, and they don't immediately generate traffic. Like as soon as you put up a blog post, it doesn't immediately get traffic, but down the road, like several weeks or several months later, not only your video shows up in Google search, but also your blog posts. So you get traffic from your video, like those carousel of videos that appear at the top of the Google search, but also your blog post can sometimes appear at the top of search. Plus, you get your traffic from YouTube search. So the good thing about this is that by embedding your video in a blog post and adding text to it, adding a transcript, then especially when you got a video in there, that people tend to stay longer on the blog post because they're watching the video, they're reading your transcript, etc. I think the only downside that I've found is, like, especially if you're doing a how-to type video, you got so many steps. So ideally, you would spend hours kind of, putting screenshots in there and going step by step by step. So you could make like a very long step-by-step blog post, but I generally try to hit the main points. So it only takes me like 30 minutes to an hour to just post a transcript, embed the video, pop in a call to action, and I'm done. So I'm trying to do that now with every particular video. And another idea would be, if, like this live stream, I could get it transcribed, and I could have like a 2,000 or 5,000 word transcript on my blog. And nowadays Google favors long form posts, so that would be another way to do it. So number 2 was embedding your video in your blog post and posting transcript on your blog, on your website, etc. Number 3 is that is a guest post. So number 3, a guest post means that you could contact other bloggers that have got a lot of traffic on their blog. So maybe from a blog post, they're getting a ton of traffic. So you can approach those blog owners or website owners and say to them, hey, like I have content that you may be interested in, and might save you time if I could just do a guest blog post, and you could just be like a guest post and submit your transcript to their blog, possibly embed your video in their blog as well. So say you contacted 10 blog owners and you got one that accepted your invitation, and then you get a lot of traffic. So that'll be another way to kind of repurpose your video and your transcript. Okay, number 4 is to convert that transcript to the PDF file. So what you could do is just take that transcript, put it into a Word doc, and then convert it to just using Google Docs and convert it into a PDF file, and then submit it to PDF sharing sites. What I do, not always, but I use something, let me see if I can find it. Oh, it's not that one, this one. This is called Designer, DESIGNRR, and this is where you repurpose content, reach more people. So what you can do is you use the software and you can convert it into an ebook or short report, and so you're transforming your blog posts, your videos, your podcasts into ebooks, a report, and it even gives you the opportunity to make it into a flip book. So when people watch your, go to read your ebook, they can actually flip through the pages. So that's that Designer, and I've got a whole video on that, how that works. Okay, so once you've converted your transcript into a PDF, then you can submit it to slideshare.net. Scribd is another document sharing site. So these are very popular sharing sites on the net. You can also go to Quora.com or Medium, some of these places where you can actually post your articles. So you can go to article marketing sites and share your article there. So number five is a lead magnet. So you could use that transcript or that ebook or that report and convert it into a lead magnet and offer it as a free download in exchange for contact information from your video, your blog post, etc. And you can start building your email list. And I mentioned this last week about getting leads. You want to get a lead magnet. So a short report, a cheat sheet, could be a video course, it could be a worksheet. Any one of these things you could use as a free lead magnet that you offer in your videos, offer on your blog post, etc. And so you're just converting your content, or maybe a short portion of it, into a cheat sheet, ebook, report, etc. And number six is an email series. So now you've got your blog post, you've got your transcript. You can extract snippets or points, from. Say you're making several points, like I made in that blog post I showed you. You can extract maybe one point you could use for an email series, an email follow-up series. So if you're collecting leads from your videos, then you could do a follow-up series using an email autoresponder and just take some of that content that you've already got written and just copy and paste it into an email. So you could do a series of 5 email follow-ups, 10 email follow-ups, and put it into your autoresponder, and then schedule those emails to go out every day of the week. Or if you have, say you got 365 scheduled emails, you could email out an email every single day for 365 days. But I would say if you do an email follow-up series, probably best is to do 5, maybe at the most 10 email follow-ups. Okay, I have a question for you. What do any of you repurpose your video content? Do you take your video and how do you repurpose it? How do you recycle it? Do you actually take the content, do you make it into a blog post, or what do you do with it? Do you use it in any other format? Let me know in the chat if you do any kind of repurposing, or what kind of repurposing you do with the content that you produce. Okay, number 7, or that's 8. Number 7 is images. So you can create an image from your content. So, say for instance, if I go, let me check it out here. Let's see. Switch over here to, let's see. Okay, so here's Canva, canva.com, and you can easily, like this morning, I just posted a graphic to Instagram. So I've been kind of lost interest in Instagram, but recently I talked with somebody that has getting a lot of sales and got a lot of traffic from Instagram. So I thought, I better start it up again. So I took I kind of just found a graphic on Canva. So you could just kind of just go to create a design, and then you could go to social media and just look through here. So you got all these graphics here. Let's see, where was it? To go back here. Where was it? Twitter posts, stories, social media. Okay, so Instagram posts. So here you've got all the templates just for an Instagram post. So you can just sort of just go through these templates and choose a template here, and then just take any text, just like a quote, and you can just extract that from your transcript, pop it into your Instagram post here, and then what you do is you just you save the graphic, like you download the graphic from up here, and then once you say it, like I'm on a Mac, so I can use AirDrop it to my phone, and then I go on Instagram on my phone, and I'll select the photo, select the graphic that I've got on my phone that's in my photos, and then I can just post it on Instagram, add a bit of text with it and some hashtags, and I'm done. So that could take like 10 minutes. So I could do that. I could post like something every day. So, and another idea is, let me see if I got this. Okay, so here's also an infographic. So infographics are great because you can just change your headline here. Then you could just, you can select any of these infographic templates, and then you just copy and paste the points that you made in your video or on your transcript or on your blog post, and you can just put your title in here, put a little bit of your little bit of paragraph in here, then just go down. So maybe you've got three points you want to make as an infographic, and that with that infographic you can post on infographic site, you can put it on Pinterest, you could put it on Instagram, you could add it to your blog post, you got to do a Facebook post, all these kind of things. So, Harley, I think you want to get rid of that person. So we've got a spammer again. So what you do here with an infographic, you just take one of these templates. You don't have to recreate the graphic. You just take your text and you just, put your headline in here, your subheadlines, some text, save it, and then post it on Instagram, Facebook, your blog, etc. So that can be really handy. So I think with Canva, I actually create all my thumbnails in Canva. I sometimes create infographics in there, and then also create the Instagram graphics, also blog quotes. So you could do like a quote graphic. So you could take a quote from, like if you go to brainyquotes.com, I think it is, and you just put do a search on there, you can get quotes from all over the net from famous people, and just use that as a graphic quote. Just create it in Canva, and then you could use it and spread it all over the net. And the good thing is that you can actually, sometimes what happens is that graphics or images can show up in Google search. So sometimes people are looking for images. Sometimes they steal images from Google search. But if you create a whole bunch of images, and you say you put them on your blog, or you put them up on the net, and you've kind of keyword optimized your image, they can show up in Google search, and you can get traffic from those images. So it's another way for people to find your content, or find who you are, what you do, what your business is, etc., by creating graphics. So I would say creating quote graphics, creating point graphics that you can use on Instagram, infographics, etc. That a lot of times when somebody creates an infographic, it looks so beautiful, and it goes like 5 main points, how to get views on YouTube, and then they'll list 10 points, and it looks so beautiful and so easy to read and appeal visually that they'll want to share it. So that's just another way that you can quickly repurpose your content. Okay, so another way, and this is number 8, 5, 8. Number 8 is audio. So with video, you've already got the audio and the video, and all you have to do is extract it from the video. And a good place to go to, let me see if I got it here. So I got Canva here, but let me see, I think I got another. Okay, this is KeepVid. So if you go to keepvid.com, this is a video converter and audio converter. So you could extract the audio from your video. So if you can do that in your video editing software, or you can go to keepvid.com. All you do is you post your video and your video link down here, and then you could convert it. So that's kind of a handy one. If you just look for audio converter, video converter, etc. online, you'll get a bunch of them. But KeepVid is kind of handy because you can just separate. I know I use ScreenFlow for my video editing software, and I can just put my video in there. I can detach the audio and just save the audio as an MP3, and with that MP3, then you can go to places like iTunes. You can post it to iTunes as a podcast, or Stitcher is another big one as well. So those are, I think there's others as well, but and I haven't really done this so much, but podcasts seem to be picking up steam. A lot of people have been doing podcasts, and I see people doing YouTube videos, and at the same time they extract the audio as an MP3 and submit it to iTunes, Stitcher, etc. So it's appealing to different audiences, because some people want to just listen to your content, while they're out running, while they're driving, while they're taking a shower, while they're doing something. They can just listen to it instead of watching the video. So you're appealing to another audience that maybe doesn't want to watch videos, doesn't want to read the text, but they they can listen while they're driving down the road or on a trip to the beach, etc. So extracting the audio and appealing to people that are just using audio. So Sharon's saying, really good idea. Yes, podcasts are becoming more popular these days. Looks like I have more work cut out for me. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, sometimes I find, and probably I'll talk about this later, like how do you get all this stuff done? Because ideally you would have an assistant or pay an assistant or one of your kids to do it all, but how can you get it done? So maybe we'll talk about that when I get through these last couple of points. Okay, so we talked about 8 and number 9, 5, okay, 9 is a live stream. So we're doing a live stream today, but I could just take like an old video I did 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and sometimes I've done that. I said, what can I live stream about? And I just look through, I got about almost 500 videos, I think, on my channel. So I can just go back a few years and look at an old video and or look at an old blog post and extract that content and then do a live stream about it. So I don't really have to come up with new content. I can just take the content that I've already produced several years ago in a video on a blog post and maybe tweak it a bit or update it a bit to include some more relevant points related for my audience today and do a live stream. And so I've repurposed the video content that I produced last year, last week, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, and using it again. So I've kind of rehashed the content that I've produced many years ago. So I can just, and you can actually even, you can even take that live stream and you can just repeat, you can actually redo it, as a regular video, which I've done sometimes, just put a new title to it, maybe extract some points from it, and make maybe a 10-minute video out of your hour-long live stream, etc. So, and then you can create a transcript, and you can have a 5,000-word blog post, put it into a infographic, do some graphics, etc. So you can continually regurgitate the content that you've already produced. And I think the main point here is that instead of just appealing to the YouTube audience, you're finding different types of audiences on different platforms that may want to just see a quick graphic. They don't have time to watch a video. They might want to listen to it. They might want to see a nice, beautiful infographic. So repurposing it as a live stream is another great way to repurpose your content. The number 10 is to share your video at different places. So YouTube is like your, if that's your base, then I'd recommend just taking that same video and uploading it natively to Facebook. And why would you want to do that? Well, because Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, they all want you to stay on their particular platforms. So if you just upload, instead of spending hours trying to format the video, etc., then you can just take that same video and that same video file that you can just download it from YouTube. If you go into YouTube account, you can download that video to your desktop, that MP4 video file, upload it natively to a Facebook page, Facebook group, or just create a Facebook page and then just get in the habit of just submitting it or posting it natively. So you're not so people are going to watch that. They're not going to go over to YouTube. They're just going to watch it on Facebook. But then you're actually appealing to the audience that's on Facebook. And with Instagram, you can. I haven't actually done this yet, but I'm thinking about doing it, and I'll probably start doing it this week. Is to do an IGTV type video. Now, I don't know if anybody here is doing that, but I understand that you have to do ideally a vertical video is best for IGTV. So one way to do that is to just take like a portion of your video, or actually take the whole video and then reformat it into a vertical video. Or maybe the quickest way to do it is to just get on your phone and do a live, like I'm doing today, but do a live vertical video. So like take one main point from your video and you just talk about it for like 1 or 2 minutes. And so then you can have you have your phone, instead of like horizontal, you have it vertical, and then you just just talk to your phone, and then you just do a live video on IGTV. And I think that you can do up to 60 minutes IGTV. And what I understand is that when people go to your Instagram account, that it'll show up live on your Instagram account. So don't ask me about all the intricacies of IGTV. I just know that you can post your videos there, and I would say just take one main point, and then just you could do take 1 or 2 minutes to do a quick live video. Or if you want to reformat the video that you've created on YouTube, reformat it into a vertical video. So that would be one way to do it. But the idea is that you're actually appealing to another social media platform. So on Instagram, you could do your graphic there, post a graphic. You could post a video. I think whatever, doesn't take much time. Oh, and I also wanted to mention there's another couple of, let's see, I'll quickly go here. I think I got the converter, and this is another site called TubeChop. So what you do, you paste your video, your YouTube URL into TubeChop right here, and then you just you can just chop out a part of your videos. So then you could post it on Facebook. Say most people on Facebook kind of very have the attention on mosquitoes, so you could just maybe just chop out the intro or chop a certain portion of it. So you go to TubeChop, put your video and URL in there, and then select the section that you want to chop. Click chop it, and there you go. Another site, if you want to create like a Jiffy, this is like a kind of an animated graphic, is jiffy.com. And if you go to jiffy.com/create/GIF-maker, you can just choose your photo or choose your video and then make a GIF out of it. So it's like an animated graphic that's actually an image, but it's not actually a video. So and then you could post that to image sharing sites, put it on your on Facebook, etc. So those are kind of just a couple of handy spots as well. And then just sharing your video, you can share it on share your video on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn. They all take videos. And another thing you could do is actually use, if you wanted to spread your video and you weren't worried about it getting it a copyright copyright protection, you could actually convert or just when you put your video, if you put a video that's for Creative Commons means that anybody can take your video, reuse it, edit it, put it in their own videos, etc. So you could take the video that you've uploaded to YouTube, change it to Creative Commons, and then put down the bottom that free to reuse, so people could reuse that video on their sites, in their videos, on their blog posts, etc. So that's another way that you could kind of get exposure, but you wouldn't be able to copyright protect that video if it's a Creative Commons. And just a bonus tip is to go, take your content, like some points that you may have made in your video that are occurring in your transcript or your blog post, and share them on forums, Facebook groups, etc. So it might be something that's related to the conversation, and then you can just copy that point from your blog post, or your transcript, and insert it into that forum, into that Facebook group, etc. So in this way, you instead of just kind of spamming the forum, you want to kind of engage in the conversation, and then add to the conversation, or add some value to the conversation by mentioning some points, or maybe a main point that relates to the content that's on that forum. So yeah, groups and forums, those type of things. So the conversion tools I talked about was Canva, rev.com, or gotranscript.com for your transcripts, TubeChop for cutting up your video, Jiffy if you want to create a Jiffy or GIF out of your content, and then Designer, which is a software that you can use to create a beautiful ebook, beautiful report, etc. And you can use that as a free lead magnet, free download, free giveaway, etc. Okay, so if you've got any, if any of you got any questions about repurposing your content, then pop them in the chat, or if you're watching the replay, then put them in the comments. But some last important things to keep in mind is I talked about this. So how can you get all this done? I would say dedicate like maybe 30 minutes. If you're going to repurpose your content, maybe look at a time block in your day that like 30 minutes or an hour at the most. Just set aside that time block that you focus on repurposing your content. So usually what I do when I do the blog post is say, well, for 30 minutes or 1 hour, I'm going to set aside and dedicate myself to creating this blog post. Then if it's Instagram or something like that, I'll say, okay, for 30 minutes, I'm going to post to Instagram, maybe comment on other people's posts and follow some other people and build up my Instagram following. So I'd say set aside 30 minutes to an hour per day, or just do 3 days a week, whatever fits, in your schedule, instead of doing it randomly throughout the day and kind of losing your time. So you want a kind of focused period of time. And number 2 would be post content that's native to the platform. So native, upload native video to Facebook, upload native content to Instagram, YouTube, etc. And then number 3, you could take, if you got some old content from last year, you could take that old content, even that old video, and you could repost your content, from your blog, from your video, into another Twitter post, another Facebook post, etc. So you could rehash and regurgitate, recycle the content that you produced even last year. So you could just go through all your old videos, all your old blog posts, and recycle the content. And the last point I would mention is just kind of keep track of the different platforms that you're posting, and then identify the platform that's producing the best return on your investment. So maybe you've invested several weeks on Instagram, and you're finding that your posts are taking off, you're getting thousands of comments, etc. So then you know that maybe you should drop posting on Facebook, for instance, and just focus more on Instagram and YouTube. So so you never know where your audience might gain traction. So I wouldn't take off from go away from YouTube, but say heaven forbid your YouTube account got terminated, then you could continue on Instagram or Facebook, for instance. So figure out what is working, then improve also what's not working, and then try to improve on each of those platforms. Okay, and Sharon's saying that I already spend 15 hours a day. I got to sleep and eat too. 15 hours a day on what, Sharon? Is that on each video, or making your 10 videos? Yeah, I think you just gotta, I think and somebody said it a few days ago, like, if you don't do anything, then you're not going to get anything in return. So I would say just start somewhere and see what happens. So if you don't start anything, you're not going to get anything back. So you're not going to get a return on investment. So I've committed to posting again on Instagram, and probably automatically I post on the LinkedIn and Facebook group, etc. Do blog posts. So I think Instagram is probably I'm going to spend more time on there. So not to try to take away from YouTube. I mean, you don't want to do less videos on YouTube, but kind of keep that up. But Sharon's saying everything. Yeah, it's true. Still got to live your life. So I think the main benefit of repurposing your content is that you're taking that one piece of content, and then you're finding different audiences on different platforms, and you're appealing to those people on where they reside online, and you're getting in front of them. So if you get in front of a different audience, that audience takes off from the content that you're feeding them. That's great. And so you're getting traffic from YouTube, getting traffic from Instagram, from Facebook, and then the whole idea is to expose your content to a wider audience, make a bigger impact on more people. So I think that's a good thing about it. So I want to thank everybody for attending today's live stream, and for your comments, for your suggestions, for your presence. And if you have any more ideas about what you can repurpose or ways that you can repurpose, pop them in the comments, especially watching the replay. And then if you've got any future ideas for future live streams, then put those in the comments as well. And I hope you have a great day, a great weekend, and we'll see you on the next live stream or in the next video. Thanks for watching, and take care.